Obama-era intel officials are responding to news out of the Department of Justice that former FBI Director James Comey will not be prosecuted for leaking memos containing classified information. Here's former Director of National Intelligence James Clapper applauding the decision.
I think it was, though, the right decision for two reasons, both in the interest of fairness and as well more practical. I'm quite sure, I never saw the memos in question, but I'm quite sure that Jim, in his own mind, took great care to ensure that there was not classified information. What I understand is that retroactively the FBI classified one of them as confidential, which is a pretty low bar for classification.
Joining us now, Corey Lewandowski, Donald Trump's former campaign manager. As you well know, Corey, Michael Horowitz, the Department of Justice Inspector General, referred James Comey for prosecution. The department decided not to prosecute. The right decision in your view?
No, I don't think it's the right decision. I'll tell you why. You know, what we have seen throughout this witch hunt, which is what this president has been under, is that there are two separate sets of rules. One set of rules for those who support Donald Trump, and one set of rules for everybody else. And when you look at those sets of rules, if this would have been a Trump person, myself or someone else associated with the Trump campaign or the Trump administration, who leaked classified information to a reporter, so that they gave to a college professor, so that they gave that information to their media, to put out into the sphere, to start a probe or to have Jeff Sessions recuse himself, that person will be prosecuted. I have enormous respect for Inspector General Horowitz and the U.S. Attorney Durham, who are doing this investigation, but the American people deserve justice, and Jim Comey is not above the law.
Well, Jim Comey tweeted this. He says, I love transparency. I just wait for facts before I talk about them. I'm confident the results of all IG reports will show honest public servants worked hard to protect this country from a threat this president and his enablers won't acknowledge. Clearly, no love lost between Jim Comey and this president.
Well, you have to also remember something very important. During the 2016 election cycle, when Comey and Clapper and Brennan, the triumvirate of the U.S. intelligence community, were in charge, that was under Barack Obama's watch. And so if the Russians or any other foreign entity tried to influence the outcome of our U.S. election process, they were responsible for that. Not Donald Trump, who was simply a candidate and held no elective office at the time. So they've had no accountability for their deeds or actions or lack of stopping the Russians from interfering. They've had no accountability for the lies that they've told in front of Congress. And if it was a person associated with the Trump campaign or the Trump administration, Comey and Clapper and Brennan would be out chastising this decision not to prosecute someone who's leaked classified information. We've now seen this with the Clinton people. We've seen it now with the Comey people. This is a pattern that happens. When you are against Donald Trump, you have a different set of rules.
Very quickly, you've said you're interested in running for the New Hampshire Senate seat that Jeanne Shaheen now holds. Has the president talked to you about that? Does he support that decision?
Well, I don't want to get into a private conversation. I did fly with the president last night to Ohio to attend what was a massive rally. 18,000 people in Cincinnati, another 10,000 outside. We talked about a lot of things, and I do think this. I think the people of New Hampshire deserve an opportunity to have someone who represents them, who believes in smaller government, lower taxes, and less regulation, who believes if you want to become a citizen of this country, there's a proper way to do it, and doesn't think that if you step into this country illegally, you get free health care and free education. And so if I run for the U.S. Senate, those will be some of the things I talk about, and I'll be there to support the president, his agenda of $9.2 trillion in stock market value and more jobs for people of every demographic than ever have in this country before.
We'll be watching as you work toward a final decision on that. Corey Lewandowski, thank you.
Thank you.